So how the hell did you come to the conclusion that Michael Jordan's a loser?
I didn't say he was a loser. I said he's maybe not the best owner, GM that there's ever been in the history of basketball.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Aaron thinks that Michael Jordan's a loser. I don't know how he came out of this documentary thinking Michael Jordan was a loser, but somehow we got there. That beats me. All right, welcome back.
6 championships, baby.
Welcome back to the Coe Show.
God.
My name is Mason Coe. I'm here with my co-host Aaron Coe. Back
Hi.
again. Just another week in the books of quarantine and no sports. Another week that we are going to shout out some small businesses. So why don't you go ahead with yours first?
Yeah, so one that they were closed for a while, but they're open back up again. It's Azul down in Mill Creek Town Center. Really, really, really good. I guess it's Mexican, sort of, I don't know, Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
Not like authentic Mexican food, but
Right.
just kind of high-end, like good stuff. They have great carne asada.
Everything there I've tried is really
Everything
good,
is
so.
It's just really, really good food.
We go there a lot for like birthdays and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We're there all the time for that kind of stuff.
And
so,
they
yeah.
right now you can get, I believe, a growler, a margarita growler.
Whoa.
So it's like
Innovation.
$30, and they give you a giant jug, and they said it's like 12 margaritas.
Okay.
So I'm thinking I'm gonna have one of those on Friday.
Just have one. Just grab a growler.
Just one margarita.
Don't even need a glass. Just tip it back.
No, I'm just having one margarita. That's all.
All right. Well, I guess I'll move on to mine. The next one we're talking about is Elliott Bay Pizza. I mean, not a ton to say. Just really good pizza. They got good side dishes and stuff too.
Good beer selection.
Yeah, good. I mean, I don't know. I haven't had any of their beer, obviously, but what, dude? What? Like what?
You look like a fucking idiot, kind of. I'm sorry.
An idiot?
Yeah, your hair looks like shit.
Dude, we're in quarantine.
Yeah, I know, but my God, like what are you, a damn hippie?
Jesus Christ. All right. You know what? Fuck it. We're doing the MulletCast right now.
MulletCast.
MulletCast.
Let's do a MulletCast.
We're doing the MulletCast. So, probably the people that are listening to this, if you're one of my friends, I hit you up and asking you what kind of hairstyle you would like to see me rock because, we decided a while ago, and it's been, we haven't pulled the trigger yet because it's been kind of a lot to think about. Just completely fucking up our hair for the foreseeable future. But yeah, so mullet is kind of the look we're going for. Channer is rocking one right now, and Addison is not. It's not a mullet, but you probably couldn't tell. Addison came over the other day. He was trying to go for the mullet thing, but his barber cut it a little too short on the back. So we might as well hop in. We were thinking about doing kind of a Buhner buzz cut thing. For those who don't know, Jay Buhner cut fans' hair, right?
Yeah, they used to have a Buhner buzz cut night, and that you'd come in and you'd get a buzz cut, and he would do some of them. He would show up, and do a few of them, and yeah, it was kind of a fun event.
Yeah.
I never did that,
right?
but I saw it.
So
yeah.
Seeing as both, I mean, I've worn a hat on I think every episode so far. I mean, for a reason. My hair looks like like a mop right now, but. So yeah, I mean, we were thinking about kind of not copying Buhner Buzzcut, but doing something along those lines, and kind of inspired by it. And I went through a few different possibilities. At first, we were thinking just buzz our hair, and then I was thinking, my hair's kind of built for a bowl cut, so I was thinking about maybe going there, but I just can't do that to myself. I just can't. I cannot bring myself.
I was really trying to get that.
I know you were like putting a bowl on my head last night.
I was trying out bowls on you.
Yeah, trying out bowls. I know some of my friends definitely want to see the bowl cut. I want to see myself with a bowl cut, but I just can't. I just can't. I can't do it. And for some reason, I feel like I can do a mullet though, which is just not better. Like it's just not really. So, yeah. I mean, I guess we're gonna run that mullet right now, and we won't obviously show the whole thing, because the buzzing and all that. But I guess we'll cut right here.
Let's do it.
I guess we'll cut right here. And go get the clippers, and we'll probably show a little time lapse or something if I can get that figured out. And then you'll see us back on the other side where we're talking about some things like Clowney likely being gone. Coach K got exposed. The opinions of former and current NBA players on whether the season should continue. Seahawks fans getting tricked by a Reddit user. We have some interesting stuff coming up on the other side, but yeah, I mean, I guess you'll see us with shitty haircuts, which I think I haven't had like a terrible, other than it growing out, I haven't had a terrible haircut in a long time. So, I think I'm due.
Yeah,
I think I'm due.
Yeah, let's get a terrible haircut.
All right. Yeah, I guess we'll see you. Yeah, motherfuckers! Welcome back to the podcast. Yeah! All right, well, here it is, the MulletCast.
Yours looks so great.
Mine, yeah, I will say, because my hair's a little longer, mine is like pretty mullety. It's funny, when I look at you head on, I don't know if it's the same with me, when I look at you head on, it looks like you just got a haircut.
Right, yeah,
It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty, it's it's pretty fucking bad. Okay.
We have finally lost it, people.
Yeah.
Quarantine finally got us.
If you can't tell, our quarantine's been tough on us. I figured I need this in my life. I need a fucked up haircut and at some point in my life, just to have to deal with it. And quarantine is definitely the best time to do that. Although my coworkers will be asking questions probably.
Just think at the women that are gonna line up.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, all those Monroe bitches, like, they'll be lining around the block.
Oh man!
All right, shout out to Monroe.
You know what's great? This is a weird time to talk to you about this.
Go for it.
But I was gonna ask you if you wanted to do a little jeeping on Friday.
Okay, yeah.
Out and it's out past Monroe, so it's like
really?
Raider.
Yeah.
I forget the Raider Hills or whatever it's called. But
yeah.
But it's out there. It's out there, past Sultan and Gold Bar.
Well, if I wasn't down before, I'm down now.
Yeah, I mean we got the look
to.
now.
Yeah,
we're ready to go.
Yeah, it's on site.
Let's get some Copenhagen and get out
there.
Yeah,
might as well. Oh my god.
Okay.
Might just have to learn how to hunt.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess with that having been done already, I guess we just go straight into the news. Don't really know how to transition from this, but yeah, Clowney's probably going to be gone unless he takes less money than the Seahawks originally offered him, which was already less than he wanted before. So, I mean, I hope that this money that we're saving by cutting Britt and Ifedi goes to something. Like, I hope we don't just not spend it, because then why did we even cut them? Right. Clowney being gone, I think that's a really big loss, honestly. Obviously, he doesn't have the sack numbers or anything, but the presence he is in the run game is just really unmatched. And also, yeah, he doesn't have these huge sack numbers, but if you saw how many times he affected the quarterback.
And the run game.
And yeah, the run game is the really big one. Especially considering we'd be able to get him probably for like 18 mil right now. When before, I mean, I was okay giving him like 21, honestly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been like super pumped on that, but if we're doing a 1-year deal, why aren't we giving him 18 mil or something? And it seems like you could get him for 17 or 16 right now.
It's really interesting. You had at the beginning of free agency, you had some big numbers go up really early, and then the shit happens, and Clowney wasn't getting the offers that I think he expected, and now with the uncertainty of everything, like, there's nothing there for him. Like, he's not even getting any offer that's even legit. So I'm just going to say it. I think he's going to end up coming back to the Seahawks on a 1-year deal.
I would love that.
And I think he's basically going to say, screw it. I'll just, I'll play for, whatever, $10 million for this year. and then look, hopefully next offseason get a huge payday. So if he had a good season this year, if he could get his sack numbers up and still be effective, he's gonna get that contract he was looking for. I think it would be a mistake for him to sign a multi-year deal right now.
Yeah, he would get less money for sure.
Yeah, he's just not gonna get the money. So maybe I'm being optimistic, but I'm seeing a 1-year deal with the Seahawks, or like a 2-year deal that's really a 1 year.
Yeah,
sometimes they like to spread out the bonus money.
You can also now with the CBA. Like, Taysom Hill has a $16 million contract, and I think it's pretty much all hitting, like, this year.
Right.
So, like, they can really set up contracts in ways that can kind of dance around the cap room, and if you want to go all in for 1 year, like, the Rams would have been able to front load some contracts, and maybe they'd be in a better spot right now if it were under the new CBA, because they could play around with when they pay people, and they wouldn't owe Todd Gurley and Clay Matthews wouldn't be giving him a lawsuit right now probably for $5 million.
The funny thing with the Rams, had they won the Super Bowl, I'm not questioning it. Because if you win a Super Bowl, like, whatever, like,
who cares?
Suck for the next 5 years, that's fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But boy, if you take a big hack and miss, ooh, that hurts, because now you didn't get the Super Bowl, and now you're hurting your chances for years to come.
And they made it to the Super Bowl, but they fell so flat. Like, they hacked and missed so hard that it felt like they didn't even make it to a Super Bowl. That they put up 3 points or whatever with their quarterback. They just broke off for $70 million a year. So I guess kind of on the same ish topic, we just talked about Justin Britt being released so he can save some cap. Reddit user Everyone Loves Nudes reported, yes,
that's a legit source,
legitimate
right there.
Source, yes.
It's like the Adam Schefter of the nudes world.
Of the nudes, yeah, exactly. He has all the leaked celebrity. Okay, so
that's a different podcast.
Yeah, different podcast. So he reported the day before that Britt got cut. He reported that it was going to happen. Which I don't know why this held weight on Seahawks Twitter. Seahawks Twitter is a beautiful place, by the way. There's a lot of really cool people there. Seahawks Twitter, it's hectic there. It's chaotic. And there's also a lot of assholes there. But Seahawks Twitter, more so than anyone else, especially during a time like right now, loves to turn nothing or very little pieces of hints or rumors and just blown it out of proportion.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
There's like a running meme where someone will like horribly Photoshop. So like when Clowney was going to get traded and we didn't know where he was going, someone like horribly Photoshopped a picture of Jadeveon Clowney in SeaTac and was like, look, I saw Clowney at SeaTac. So like they were doing that.
Right.
They've been doing that a lot. But with this one specifically, after Everyone Loves Nudes hit on that Brit thing, the next day or the day after that, he put up a Reddit post saying that the Seahawks were about to make a huge trade for a defensive lineman, I think.
Oh, God,
he specified. Yeah. And then the next day after that, he said it was Myles Garrett.
Right.
So Seahawks, if you're even a tiny bit tapped into Seahawks Twitter, I haven't been on Twitter very much in the last month. Just I don't know why. But the instant I hopped on Twitter, I was seeing all this Myles Garrett stuff, and I was like, okay, there's a reason I haven't heard about it until I opened the Twitter app.
Yeah.
So it did not take long to look into because every member of Seahawks Twitter was just all over it. Obviously, people were like taking this to heart or even just entertaining it.
There were people that fell for it though.
I saw a lot of people that were really bought into it, and then the next day he posts that about how he fooled everyone and that he's actually a Packers fan. He said, "Go Pack, go." So honestly, respect. Like that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's a good move. I mean, just to get out there that
and
much.
This,
if nothing
I saw
else.
someone tweet this. This is the fan base you do it to because they have.
Yeah.
I would argue that I'm not obviously active in any other team's Twitter universes, but I would definitely argue Seahawks has a top 5 Twitter presence from the fans at least. So he chose the perfect team. He knew everyone would. I don't know if he knew it, but everyone did run wild with it, and it was gonna happen. Like I mean, props to him. This is obviously such non-news that we're talking about, but it's just kind of funny story. So yeah, shout out to Everyone Loves Nudes on Reddit for fooling everyone.
Well, see, it's funny, for as long as I can remember, especially, I've been listening to sports radio in Seattle since the early 90s when it really first started, when it was first a thing. And people are ripe for that. And then also they think so unrealistically about trades sometimes.
What the fuck were we going to give up for Myles Garrett?
What if we trade our kicker and a half pack of animal beer for Myles Garrett? Like they would go for that, wouldn't they?
They just signed him to a mega extension, or I guess they haven't yet, but they're about to.
Yeah, the number. Yeah, it looks like they're going to. Yeah, but yeah, back to the Clowney thing. I think so. I said I think he'll sign with the Seahawks on a 1 year or a 2 year. That's a 2 year that's basically a 1 year.
Yeah.
The only exception, if somebody comes out and gives him a bigger 1 year number, he may jump because he may feel a little disrespect, right? So
I could see that, yeah.
So if the Seahawks say we'll give you 1 year 10 and somebody says we'll give you 1 year 12, I mean he's gonna go, just because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So, but I hope the Seahawks can get that done. And then who knows? Maybe they could sign him again after this year. I don't know, or sign him in the middle of the year. But
yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, it's definitely not what we all expected for him to not even get. He's not even getting offers for $15 million a year right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much the COVID thing has to do with it about working out because he had the hernia at the end of the year.
That's a lot of it.
I don't know. Yeah,
how healthy is he? He only had 3 sacks. There's there's some question marks.
Definitely, I could see why teams wouldn't want to pay him big money. Oh, and actually, sorry, back to Everyone Loves Nudes. He was on KJR.
Oh, really?
KJR had him on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they bid. I totally forgot because when you mentioned you were listening to radio, I thought you were going to bring that up.
Oh, no, I didn't hear
that. I totally forgot.
I'm surprised.
That totally slipped my mind. He was on KJR.
Oh, wow.
Talking about this. And then he just put it out. He's like, yeah, I trolled everyone.
Wow. Because they usually see through that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah. And it's like everyone, I wouldn't say everyone knew Justin Britt was getting cut, but we had multiple conversations about it before where we were like, I hope this happens and it probably will. Seahawks Twitter has been pretty much I guess asking for it. Obviously it's not like Pete and John look at Seahawks Twitter and make their decisions, but they were calling for it, I guess, that they wanted him cut, even though I guess there is
why did you cut him?
So that's the thing.
You had a good center.
That's the thing is like we can still get Everson Griffin,
right,
a guy like that. I don't know.
So you better find good use of that money because who's your center?
That's the thing is if we don't end up finding somewhere to spend that money, it's like why would we even cut them? So I guess moving on from that whole debacle, Coach K got exposed, which I'm not surprised about. I'm not surprised that Duke, just like in my speculation, pretty much every big basketball school is paying kids. Obviously Coach K did the same. Nike's in question because apparently Zion got some Nike benefits and maybe Adidas too. Gina Ford, his ex-agent, who basically got Zion all these illegal deals, reported him. She's a dumbass because she's at fault too. And also I'm pretty sure it's coming off like Gina Ford is just really butthurt that Zion moved to a different agent. So she's a clown.
Tens of millions of dollars for him making that move. So.
She's gonna lose money from him making that move, but she's gonna lose even more money by just ratting on him for no reason. She had no reason to rat on him. So I think that loses her tons of money. How can this be stopped?
Well, I'll be curious to see what really comes out because what I have seen really nothing other than her sending this thing like, we demand that you admit that this happened, but there's no. Yeah. Where's the video? Where's the transaction?
She put out, or her lawyers or whatever, put out a request for every single text from Krzyzewski and every single email from Krzyzewski from like 2014 to now.
Right. Yeah.
So, or I think the end of 2019. So, I think it's just yet to be sorted through because how many goddamn texts did he send? Also, I think they're looking through Zion shit too. So it's like, how long will that take, and then when will the news come out? I don't know, but it's like Arizona coach, LSU coach, Louisville, like everywhere is doing this, and it, obviously the coaches get fired, but nothing really happens. I mean, Rick Pitino's about to coach college basketball next year.
Mm-hmm.
He coached in Greece for 1 year, won a championship, or 2 years or something, a couple, and now he's just coming back already and it's not a huge basketball school, but he's coaching college basketball again.
Yeah.
That seems ridiculous to me. I think the NCAA clearly doesn't really care that this is happening if they're not going to put a stop to it. And also, who should be punished? That's the other thing.
Yeah, you can't punish the player.
How the
or the
fuck?
family.
Hold on. This just popped. I'm sorry. This just popped into my head. How the fuck did UW almost get the death penalty from Billy Joe Hobert and nothing happens to these schools?
Yeah, it's all changed. So there've been, and it's funny because the other team that got hurt, I think, bit pretty hard was USC. So if you want to talk about East Coast bias and all that, I mean that. You gotta look at that because USC lost a lot of scholarships and things like that.
And Reggie Bush got his Heisman taken away.
Yeah,
that's messed up.
But yeah, so that I feel like, Washington really got nailed, and no one really got nailed like that after that. And all the schools were doing these little things, and basically a lot of it came down to, hey, come work at my car dealership, and the guy shows up once a week, and and that was happening everywhere. UW gets nailed for it, made an example of. But yeah, no, it's interesting. Like nothing is happening anymore.
Yeah, thinking through this more and more, I just get more pissed about it because they don't want to pay their players. They are seemingly trying to bury that they're not like actually burying news, but they're really not. I mean, they're just like handing out a swift punishment and just shutting about it and just not acknowledging it past that or anything. I don't know how Rick Pitino can come back and coach college basketball.
There's all kinds of stuff.
It makes no sense.
I mean, Cam Newton, there's pretty much evidence that Mississippi or Mississippi State, one of those two, I think it was Mississippi, offered him like $50,000, offered his dad $50,000, but he went to Auburn. Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think he actually got from Auburn?
What do you think Auburn gave him? What I will say that is good from this whole thing is no one is mad at Zion. I think you should never ever blame a player, in my opinion.
Yeah, I usually blame the parent because a lot of times it's the parent anyway. Yeah. And here's the thing. People forget that these are kids. So he was 17 years old when all this shit was going down, or 16 even.
Yeah.
So the parent has a lot to do with it. The parent is shopping their kid, trying to profit off of their kid.
And I don't know where Zion comes from. I don't know where Cam comes from either. But at the end of the day, like $50,000 can change a family's life.
Oh yeah.
Zion and Cam. I guess I don't know was Cam like a huge prospect out of high school.
Yeah.
I guess if he was getting offered money, yeah, he was. So they probably both either knew or had, I guess, visions of going to the NBA, or to their professional, pro sports. And they probably knew they were going to make a lot of money there. But if you come from a family that doesn't have a lot, it's like and again, you can blame this on the parents. How can you like look at that money and say no? Like, this gets my parents out of X situation. This gets my parents, bills and maybe a new car or whatever. It's like it's hard to blame I think no one should blame the players, and I think even it should be situational with parents because I know there was, I think, a lineman at Ole Miss. I might be way wrong on this, but his family was pretty much homeless. So it's like, what do you want him to do? Not take money?
Yeah, yeah.
Like what? Like you just want him to keep his family on the streets when he has offers for money that can put them in a house and give them food. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, it's tough.
It seems
tough.
like a consensus that no one is mad at Zion, which I think is very good, because even if he has to pay fines, he can pay them now with his endorsements and obviously
There's
all
nothing
that.
they can do. What's the NCAA going to do to Zion? Say you're not playing in the NCAA anymore?
Yeah.
What can they do? Nothing.
Yeah, true. Nothing. And
Don't he won't go in a Hall of Fame. Well, he probably played 1 year anyway. He probably wasn't going to.
and
None of that was going to happen.
I mean, if like, it might mean different things to different people, but if you only played college for 1 year, I don't think you really care about going in the basketball hall, like NCAA Hall of Fame. Anyway,
he's got other Hall of Fames in mind.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like you just want to win an NBA championship. It's like none of that. Isn't the Naismith? Would it be Naismith Hall of Fame?
I think so.
I don't know. Anyway, either way, yeah, it's not his focus, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, this whole situation, basically to sum it up, my thoughts on it. Glad no one's mad at Zion. Gina Ford, I don't know how she thought this would benefit her in any way, other than just to get back at Zion, who it won't hurt in any way, probably.
I'm assuming that she threatened this for some time. Like, you better not do this, or I'm going to do this.
And she's like, oh, fuck, now I gotta follow through.
If you're going to leave, I'm going to do this. If you blah, blah, blah.
I put my nuts on the table, I gotta follow through.
So, I guess, but, man, who's going to sign, who's going to sign with her now?
No one, ever, because not only did she do illegal things, but then she snitched. So it's like, why would I ever? And then also Zion moved on from her for a reason in the first place. And I think if this is found to be true, I think Coach K should not be able to coach college basketball anymore.
I guess it just comes down to what did he actually know?
Pete Rose is banned from baseball for betting on games.
Yeah.
These are like illegal payments. Like, it's so egregious, and apparently a lot of these were Nike benefits, so maybe Nike is actually the one that should be, but I mean, it goes through the school anyway, so I don't know. Yeah. I don't see, it would be hard to convince me that if this is true, that Coach K should be able to coach again.
Yeah, if he knows something about it, then yeah. I mean, then yeah, I totally agree, but I don't know, there's nothing out there right now that is any sort other than her saying you have to admit that you know this.
So yeah, and also
I don't think she's the best source.
Also, I do feel some type of way about this situation, but it could all be just not true, because if Gina Ford is dumb enough to pull this stunt, she's probably dumb enough to lie about it too. So yeah, I mean, I think it's tough because who do you punish? It'd be hard to find out if he got anything alone, let alone who's really responsible. But yeah, I guess moving on. We gotta watch that documentary. It's about the coach. It's about the Arizona coach.
Arizona stuff. Yeah, I do. We need to watch that and figure that out.
Yeah.
One just very quick comment.
Yeah.
That probably is a long discussion in the future, but I think, you hate the NCAA more than I do. I think it's necessary and I understand why they do some things, but I will say this. This is a perfect time to do it too, because there's no sports right now. Tear the fucking thing all the way down.
They need to
the studs.
Up. Yeah.
Fire everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe you rehire some of them, but you basically just burn it down and build it back up again. With new ideas, because it's not. Yeah. It's clearly not working.
With every passing day, it's just pointing towards either the NCAA making some big changes or it eventually just slowly becoming irrelevant, because I don't know if did we talk about Power 5 conferences maybe leaving last episode? So yeah, if that becomes a possibility, the NCAA will probably be able to sniff that out, and I'm guessing that's when they'll make these big changes. But until then, the G League has been their only competition for a century. There's been no competition.
That's not very realistic. They're not going to get the fan support.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's it'll be really interesting to see how that works out. But yeah, because I don't know how much do G League players get paid anyway? Because they already pay G Leaguers. Anyway, while I look that up, let's move on to speaking of basketball. Shaq and Chuck say they should just scrap the season, which I think is them not wanting LeBron to win another ring.
Because they know that Jordan is the GOAT.
No, they're scared. They're scared of LeBron winning another ring. It's very clear. No, but I think what Shaq said is that there's always going to be an asterisk over who the champion is. Who cares? Who cares? Play it. It's gonna. The asterisk isn't gonna be like Barry Bonds' home run record. The asterisk is gonna be, remember when all this crazy shit was happening and we pulled off this awesome event where all the players were staying in Vegas and you have all the NBA teams show up to the games and just watch. You know what I mean? Because that's probably what happened.
Here's the thing with Chuck and Shaq. So I like those guys, especially Chuck. I think he does a great job. But those guys have zero perspective about what the fans want or the fans need. They have no idea. They're rich motherfuckers. Like they're not sitting here. They're not craving some sort of competition like we are. They don't need it. They lived it. They can do whatever the hell they want right now. I think if they can do it safely, and it'll probably be without fans if it's anytime soon. But yeah, why not? Even any sort of thing, even if it's however you do it, whether you do a normal playoff set, you do a month training camp and ramp it all back up, but maybe you just do hell, even if they did an NCAA tournament, put every team in it.
Yeah.
How many teams are there?
30.
Give the top, gives the top few a bye. Everybody's in the tournament, right?
I've heard a lot of really good plans for it. There's
no bad plan.
I've heard playing games for 7, 8, 9, 10, which I think is awesome because obviously there are a few teams that could have battled their way back to an 8 seed. But
There's no bad plan. Play some damn games.
What really pisses me off is players saying that they do it for the fans and it would be hard to play with no fans. And I get it. There is an atmosphere about going to a live event. It would be weird.
Yeah.
But guess what? 99% of your fucking fans watch on TV.
Yeah.
That affects such a small amount of the fans. The fans that can't go to games, and they're going to get refunded anyway. And I'm guessing they want they just want to watch basketball.
Yeah.
99% of the fans. There's fans all around the world. You think that there's not Lakers fans in Tennessee that can't go watch a Lakers game?
Yeah.
I guess Tennessee has a basketball team, so that's a bad example. But like Arkansas, there's basketball fans in Arkansas.
China, maybe China's bad.
Yeah,
China but all England, wherever the fuck. There's
all
fans
over
all over the globe.
The NBA is such a global brand. I don't know obviously what the numbers are, but over 99% of the fans would not be affected by, other than not being able to hear yells and just hearing music
instead. It would be a little different, but
it'd be a little eerie, but you're doing it for the fans.
We watched that Ultimate Fighting Championship.
There was nothing taken out of that event. In fact, I would say it was enhanced because you could hear what they were saying.
Yeah, you could hear the corner yelling.
That was awesome. Imagine you hear LeBron talk some shit.
Yeah.
Giannis dunks on a guy and, yells and you hear it.
Yeah.
You hear him screaming at a guy.
And it's different. It's different to not hear the roars, but you know what? Hey, let's do it.
We know when to cheer. It's not like a laugh track, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We know when to cheer.
The sitcoms,
Yeah.
Oh, they're laughing. I guess I better laugh too.
They pump in crowd cheers when big things happen.
Yeah.
But
they should just do that. Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Oh.
It's like someone hits the button at the wrong time. It's like a timeout and people start screaming.
Somebody's on the floor injured. Yay!
It would, but I think it would also be cool because I'm guessing if they did it in Vegas, I think they would for sure do. I heard Shams Charania. I heard Shams talking about it today. He said it would pretty much be for sure in a bubble-like setting like Disneyland or Disney World or Vegas. I think that you would definitely see teams coming out and watching games and stuff. Imagine how cool it'd be to see LeBron and AD on the sideline of whoever's playing. It would just be cool. It'd be cool to see LeBron and AD watching a Clippers game with each other against Giannis or something.
Yeah.
That would be pretty sweet to see. Obviously, when the king steps into the building, the atmosphere just turns electric. So, he would definitely enhance that. But I think any way you can get it done, do it. And also Adam Silver said, we have to get to a point where if someone tests positive, we can't just shut everything down again.
Right.
We have to be able to keep moving. So I think as soon as they're available to get people into hotels, get everyone tested every day. I think until that, you obviously can't, but as soon as that becomes available, you pull the trigger as a fan. And I heard Jason Tatum on a podcast today talking about, like, it would be hard to do it without the fans. And obviously, like I already said, it'd be weird, but I would argue you're doing it more for the fans right now.
Right.
Like, this is more for the fans than at any other time because the fans need this shit. Like, I need something to watch. I miss sports so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, get it moving. Whatever the format, you're not going to hear me complaining about the format. Whatever makes sense, whatever time there is.
No.
Yeah, get something going. And for people out there, I know I can hear people right now. Well, how are they going to test all these guys and I can't get a test? You know what? You can get a damn test if you need a test. Like, that's a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And also, they don't want everybody lining up at the clinic to get tested, okay?
Yeah.
So that's why they're like, don't get tested. But if you need a test, you can get a damn test.
That's why the NBA hasn't pulled the trigger on this yet, because they don't have it figured out.
Yeah.
Like, they won't do it. They're not taking tests from people. They're not like no one would allow this to happen. They wouldn't be like, okay, yeah, all the NBA just gets the tests and no one else does. That's just like a stupid thing to think. I'm sorry, it's a stupid thing to think.
Yeah, they just don't want every jackass saying, "Oh, I think I'll go get tested today," and having, 200 million people lining up to get tested all at once. That's
because then everyone gets it in the line, and
yeah, right, exactly. They're all lined up, and that's when they catch it. Yeah. So anyway, fuck that argument. I'm sorry if you believe that. Read something.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, let's do it. Let's get the playoffs.
Yeah,
going.
the NBPA is already polling players via text. Just say yes or no. That's what they're doing.
Okay.
Yes or no. Do you want to try and play?
Yeah.
And I don't know I don't think the votes have come out yet, but from what I've seen and heard on Twitter, it seems like that the players will definitely vote yes on that. Something kind of interesting to maybe graze over. We kind of already beat this to death last week, but do certain teams benefit from quarantine while others get worse? We already talked about parity and that kind of stuff, but it's like, does a team? Let me see. I have some notes here to pull up.
Whoa! Look at you.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts. I took more notes for this podcast than I did for my 2 years at college so far.
Great.
Yeah, so does a team like, for example, the Lakers their average age is 29.2, Rockets 29.3, Bucks 29.4. Those are the top three aged teams in the league. Whereas a team down the list, say the Jazz, are 26 is their average age, which is quite a big difference. I mean, that's over 3 years. And then if you even go lower, the Pacers are at 25, Pelicans are at 25, Thunder's at 25, Celtics are one of the best teams in the East, and their average age is 25. So do you think a team like maybe the Lakers, who have obviously LeBron, who's getting old, AD, Danny Green, Dwight Howard, you name them, all these vets, do you think a team like that actually benefits more from this rest than a young team? Because maybe a young team, not only are they not, like, they don't benefit from the rest as much, but they kind of need more of that guidance throughout the season of how to work out, walkthroughs with the offense. Like, do you think that has an effect?
I think the veteran teams are at an advantage because the older bodies have time to rest up.
I would agree.
And then they're just going to be, they're not going to need as much time to get going again.
Yeah.
On the flip side of this, though, is some of those older guys might be more likely to get injured.
Because they're kind of tight,
soft tissue. So
yeah.
Muscle type injuries,
right.
Hamstrings, things like that. Some of those older guys may struggle more with things like that. That could be an issue for some of them, but overall, it's probably going to benefit the older teams.
I would think so. And kind of back to shutting the season down. I think, or with the asterisk. Sorry, with the asterisk over the championship.
Yeah.
I think the only chance there would really be a real asterisk is if like Giannis gets coronavirus, because then he would have to sit out for a round of the playoffs and probably they lose or whatever. I think the only time you'd see an asterisk if like say the Clippers and the Lakers are in the Western Conference Finals and like a couple Lakers get it or a couple Clippers. That'd be the only big asterisk I could see. But if they're living in this bubble, it would seem like it would be really hard for them to kind of get this to spread. But obviously, who knows? Anyway, let's see. Where are we at? We got all that stuff talked about. I guess let's just talk about the Last Dance real quick.
Oh yeah.
Episodes 7 and 8. I don't think we talked about 5 and 6 either on here. I will say I knew that the Jordan move to baseball was kind of a big thing for him, but I didn't realize how done he was at the time. I didn't realize how tired and just kind of done with basketball he was, and I didn't realize, especially what was really cool that I saw was that he started crying when he talked about his baseball teammates and how they just treated him like another guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't this superstar. He wasn't the boss. He was just another one of the guys in the dugout, and it seemed like that really helped him mentally,
right,
and emotionally, especially after obviously his dad passed. So that was like really, really cool to see that camaraderie in the locker room really benefited him.
It's funny. I think some of these superstars
Keep going.
that are big stars when they're young. They almost have like a midlife crisis a few years into their career.
Yeah.
So. LeBron going to Miami, that was kind of a midlife crisis, right?
I could definitely, yeah.
And he even said, like, I never got to choose a college or, I can't remember his exact wording, but yeah, I'm going to go do this, know? And I almost think it was like a midlife crisis. Like, those guys have so much on them. There's so much pressure.
Especially a guy that has his superstardom. Before the internet too, to be that big of a star, biggest star in the world, which I don't think you can even say about LeBron just because there's so many kind of niches and little like pigeonholes you can get into of celebrities.
True, yeah.
Michael was like on top.
Oh yeah, yeah, and he was the first. I mean, there were stars before Michael. I mean, there was Larry and Magic, but there was nothing like Jordan. It was like it's like Tiger Woods, I mean, you're even a little young for that phenomenon, but it like Tiger Woods brought golf to a whole different level, and that's what Michael did for basketball. Yeah. So he was just a whole different deal than had ever been seen before. So he's got when he goes to town, they obviously travel a lot in the NBA. When he goes every night, he's going to a different city. He is the story. Yeah. So when he comes to Seattle, every Seattle beat writer, they know that they're going to go talk to Michael because that's their story for the day.
Yep.
And I can tell you that. So he's getting asked the same stupid questions every night. He's the total focal point of everything. And yeah, I think it just, and I didn't realize it either, how much that was, I thought it was more his dad, just kind of thinking back to it. I'm like, okay, his dad died. He's like, just needed to get away and do something else. Like, that's kind of how I looked at it, but there was more to it than that. I think he was done before his dad passed away.
Because there was a guy that interviewed that said before the season said, I'm going to shock the world and go play baseball. Yeah. Which that story was kind of weird to me because Jordan made no indication that he had told anyone. He said him and his dad were the only people that knew after he won that finals game. So I'm thinking that dude might have been capping a little, but I'm not really sure. But yeah,
the documentary's fascinating. Like, I love it. I think it's fantastic.
All the hype is completely worth it. Like, it's completely deserved, I guess.
I thought it was gonna let me down. Like, I'm like, this isn't gonna be that. You know what I mean? But it's fantastic. It's just, it's great. Really have enjoyed watching it.
Okay. Sorry. I'm ESPN released its top 10 players, top 10 basketball players of all time.
Oh.
Number
1.
And so I looked at just the top 10, and I looked at I think I looked at the top 20 actually, just to see who they kind of kept off the list.
Okay.
But I'll run through the top 10 with you, and then I'll run through some very some surprising picks that are not in the top 10. I just saw this right now, and wow.
Okay.
Yeah. So, number 10, Shaq.
Okay.
Maybe I'm okay with that spot. It's so hard, especially across eras, to rank.
Right.
Now positions aren't as much of a thing, but especially back then, it's like, how do you compare Shaq and John Stockton? You just can't, you know? So 10, Shaq. 9, Kobe. I might put Kobe a little higher, but it's tough to say. 8, Tim Duncan, the fundamental. Just obviously a really good player. I think he's definitely deserving of a number 8 spot. I can definitely see that. 7, Larry Bird. That's a lot of people, I would say, have him a little higher, especially older people. So I'm surprised ESPN kind of made that call. Yeah. 6, Wilt. It's Wilt. 6 again is,
some people would put him number 1.
Number 1, yeah.
I wouldn't, but a lot of people would.
And this one, you'll like number 5, Magic Johnson. He does not get that respect most of the time.
Yeah, and I definitely put him up there.
Yeah,
I think he's the best point guard of all time.
I think if you ask people that played basketball, because when All the Smoke, which is hosted by Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, when they have an NBA guy on, more specifically when they have a point guard on, they'll ask who their top 5 point guards of all time, and then they'll do that for the other position players. But pretty much every single point guard on that show that I've listened to has said Magic Johnson. That's the first one they list.
Yeah, who's a better point guard? Like who's even, you know what I mean?
And people that are just stat junkies and look at the longevity of his career don't get it. Like, they don't realize how special he really was. And also we took a picture with him, which is pretty awesome.
Yes.
The circumstances were unfortunate why we were there, but
yes.
But we did take a picture with him. Number 4, Bill Russell.
Yeah.
At a time that dudes were smoking a pack before games and drinking 6-pack after, he was the best. Obviously, with today's training, he would probably be really good today too. But number 3, Kareem.
Okay.
Again, I would put Kareem right at number 3 too, probably. And we'll skip number 2 and just reveal number 1.
Uh-oh.
Michael Jordan is number 1 according to ESPN, which is fucking bullshit.
ESPN, you are smart.
Oh my! Stop. ESPN has never been smart, and they're still not smart. So other than the huge, glaring pimple of having Jordan over LeBron, I think I can respect this list. It's like those.
Yeah, it's hard to debate that. I expected you were gonna read some guy from like 1954
that's what
who
I
had
thought
a great
too.
Goddamn set shot.
That's what I thought too. Yeah,
but they did, because that's what the NFL did, right?
Yeah. With their
who the
all
fuck is that
100
guy?
team. Yeah.
Greatest receiver, number 3 receiver of all time. He caught 4 passes in 1948.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So good that they avoided that.
Bill Russell was really the only real old head they had on there. Yeah, but he won 10 chips.
He's fantastic.
He literally forgot how many championships he won. Someone had to remind him during the interview.
It's like, I don't have enough fingers.
Yeah.
Again, a debate for another day. But the Michael versus LeBron thing, I will say this: like, I think.
You think Jordan's a loser?
I'm trying to keep an open mind about this, but I think I would put Michael there now and have a true debate about this, like, because LeBron can still pass him. So if you put LeBron number 1 now, you can never change that, right?
Right.
You can't. 5 years from now, you can't say, well, wait, shit, you know what? We think that. However, if you put Michael number 1 now,
you have
room to with some more perspective.
So basically, you're just a gutless pussy.
Well, LeBron's story isn't fully written yet, right?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a very good point. I think
he could win a couple of championships and maybe even in my mind past Jordan, because I do think it's really close. Or I don't know, I don't know what he could do to like ruin his legacy. But you know, he could choke. He could choke, right?
Yeah, I think that would be the big one. Is
game winning shot, game 7, and he misses it. Like,
I would say,
ooh, that would hurt. That's gonna hurt him, right?
I would say, really, the only situation that he falls below Jordan for me is if he blows a 3-1 lead. Like, that's pretty much. Even if he misses a game 7, it's like, I don't know. You would have to look at the circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, we could debate this all day, but from my perspective, I think it makes sense to do that now, and you leave yourself room.
I can respect that.
To change it down the road, depending on how the story finishes itself.
I can definitely respect that. So now into the...
Plus, it's correct. But
okay. Now let's get into kind of the interesting stuff. Okay, yeah. We'll just go first off who was left off the list, and then I'll get into some of the crazy shit I saw.
That list, man, I like it. Like, I mean,
that's a very respectable
list. You might read
list.
a name that I might go, ooh, but I don't know who I would take off that list.
Here's the thing.
Out of there.
There's no one on that list that I would specifically take off.
No.
There's no one that doesn't belong on that list.
Yeah.
And there's obviously been so many great NBA greats that it's so you can kind of mix and match some of them.
So anyone who throws a name out there, they would have to tell me who they're taking off, right?
Yeah.
You can't just add somebody. You know?
Yeah. And them having at Shaq at number 10, you would assume it would be Shaq, at least for this list.
Right.
But you could also, I mean, maybe argue Kobe. No, but Tim Duncan. No, it's like there's really no one. Oscar Robertson is number 11.
Yeah, I mean that's gosh, yeah. I mean you could argue, but who do you pull off?
I don't know.
To me, him and Shaq are probably a toss up, but I don't know. Like Shaq was pretty damn dominant player.
Hakeem at 12.
I love Hakeem. I think he's one of the most underrated players. I think they rated him about right.
Yeah.
But you don't hear his name much.
I think he's a top 3 center.
And he gets a little bit of an asterisk for his championships because Jordan was out.
Right, yeah.
But still, that guy, well, he could play now. He was really athletic. Very great like he was such a well-rounded player. But who do you take off? Again, the only one I would think about is Shaq. Like would I pull?
Yeah.
But man, Shaq was a freaking beast. Like it's hard to pull him off of there.
So, okay, here's how I'm going to do this. So there are 13 and 14. I'm going to wait a second to reveal those.
Okay.
15 is Dr. J. 16 is Jerry West. 17, Karl Malone. 18, Moses Malone. 19, Dirk. Pretty high for Dirk.
Yeah.
But I think you could definitely argue that. 20, Kevin Garnett. 21, Scottie Pippen. 22, Elgin Baylor. 23, Chuck. 24, David Robinson. And 25, Kawhi.
Huh.
That's pretty interesting. But number 13 and 14. 14 is Kevin Durant. Pretty high on the list, but I think you could definitely make an argument there. And number 13... who, let me get this right before I say anything.
KD is one of the best scorers of all time.
Oh, yeah. So we got 1, and we got... Yeah, I think he is listed as the second highest point guard on this list. Actually, no, because you got Oscar Robertson, too. So you have Oscar Robertson and Magic, who are very tall point guards, for the record. Number 13, Steph Curry. Third best point guard of all time. And also, I will say, well ahead of the next point guard, who is Stockton.
It is funny, I was thinking about this when we were talking about Magic earlier, how point guards really are kind of underrated,
Yeah.
Like they handle the ball more than anybody.
Yeah.
But man, they don't get a whole lot of respect because they're not always big time scorers. Curry's an interesting one. But yeah, I don't know. I
don't think I put Curry that high. I don't think Curry's better than Kevin Durant yet.
Yeah.
Curry doesn't have a Finals MVP.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough because he hasn't had those big defining moments. I mean, he's fun to watch and can shoot it from anywhere. But no, I don't think I would put him up quite that high.
So one that's very interesting to me as well At 28, so these are just kind of normal to me. 28, you got John Stockton. 29, you have Allen Iverson, which I think is pretty low for him.
Yeah, I would probably move him up a
So
bit.
there's a big run of point guards here. You got John Stockton, Allen Iverson, who I guess is technically a shooting guard, even though he wasn't. Steve Nash, Isaiah Thomas, James Harden, who you could argue is a point guard. Havlicek, who wasn't, but yeah. So you got a big run of point guards there. Landing right before all those guys. Giannis at number 27.
He's not even on my radar yet. I just don't think he's played long enough to merit a spot, anywhere near up that high.
If we're talking individual seasons,
yeah,
he's like top 15 probably for me.
Sure.
But he's had. I mean, hold on.
It's really hard with current players who are in their mid-20s, like even Kawhi, like. Where do you put a guy like that? Those guys could move up or down pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like if Giannis loses a step, he's off the list.
Oh yeah.
Like if this is it, he's off the list pretty quickly. But he could also move up. He could easily move up into the top, the top 15 with a few more good seasons.
He's been to 4 All-Star games.
Yeah.
Like.
Here's the thing about him, and I don't watch a lot of basketball, but I did watch him in the playoffs, and that's when he struggled a bit because he doesn't have a shot, or at least I know he's working on it. And he showed a little bit of it this year.
Yeah, this year he looked pretty decent there, but still not like enough to boost him that high on the list.
So when a guy doesn't have a jump shot, if you're facing him a couple times a year, it's hard for you to really draw up a defense against him.
Yeah.
But if you're playing a series and your one job is to slow that guy down, then you can figure out how to. We got to jam up the middle, right?
Just
and that's
the
what
paint.
they did.
Mm-hmm.
Let him run into us.
And like when his team, the thing about Giannis is when his teammates aren't hitting threes, then their team gets so much worse. He has to I'm not saying he relies on his teammates because he's probably the most dominant player in the league right now, and I would say if you take him off that team, they're probably like an 8 seed or something. But he does rely on his teammates in the 3-ball game, and he can because he's so everyone is so focused on him, and he handles the ball. So it's easy for him to kind of kick it out and let guys shoot, but at the end of the day, he does rely on them for that outside shooting.
He does, yeah. If they're not hitting, he can't win.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean that's kind of everything that caught my eye, I suppose. But I guess
I don't have a big problem with the list. Like, there's nothing that's just glaring there.
The one that I kind of had the reaction to was Giannis. That was the one that really surprised me because I just don't think he's done it for long enough.
Right. Yeah.
I think if he has 5 more years at this pace, then put him there.
Right.
And put him higher even, but. I don't know. It just hasn't been for long enough. He wasn't even good. He hasn't been good for his whole career. That's the thing.
Yeah. He's only been good for really 4 years, right?
4 years, but really, I mean, the last 3 have been when he's really been top 30 category. I mean, those first 2 All-Star years, he wasn't in this.
Yeah,
he wasn't at this level.
He wouldn't be on my list.
No, me neither. I wouldn't even no disrespect to Giannis, I wouldn't even think about him because he hasn't been doing it. Like he just hasn't been doing it long enough. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
So I mean, overall, I think it's some of ESPN's best work as far as lists go. Usually their lists
sometimes
they put out
their lists
are fucking
just
awful.
terrible. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I think sometimes when people make lists, they want them to be controversial. Right?
Oh yeah, because it gets people sending.
If you make a perfect list, then people are like, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah,
but
they don't send the link to their friends or anything.
You want them You want them retweeting it. And what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
How many people are gonna retweet that list and say, "Cool list"? No,
it's just just like okay.
Yeah,
it's like,
they want. So I think they do it on purpose sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Okay,
but this one it's pretty darn spot on.
I think last thing before we go. Because I think we're pretty good on time.
I have no idea really, but
it's fine. Did you see the tweet I sent you this morning?
Which one was that?
Rams uniforms. You did.
Yeah,
see
I
that,
finally
right?
I replied to it like hours later.
Okay.
You know, because I'm all over it.
If I remember, or if I'm and also I have to not be too lazy. I'll put a picture up of the Rams uniforms. Boy, they are rough. Did you notice
Yeah.
the shoulder thing?
So what I think my reply to you was I like the colors but I pretty much hate everything else.
Yeah.
Like I like the shade of blue that they used. I think that's a good look. But yeah, I don't like
The font.
the weird looking horn that looks like a fucking butter horn that we used to buy at Starbucks. Like
I don't like the
yeah.
apparent. I read somewhere. I read the word chrome. Their helmets might be chrome, and they might have just
yellow.
Yeah. So I don't. That's might be untrue. It didn't look like it in the pictures, but those might be chrome blue helmets, and any chrome color helmets, they look awful with the same color. So
Yeah.
if you have a chrome blue helmet, it will look terrible with blue jerseys, no matter what. So it's just a bad move. If you're gonna have a chrome blue helmet, you better not have any blue jerseys. It better just be white and yellow or something.
Yes.
Their jerseys are awful. They have this weird it says Los Angeles Rams on their shoulder, on their left shoulder. And at first I was like, is it supposed to say it over the heart? Which is still stupid. But it's not even that. It's on the shoulder. It just is off. It's just off center. It's just on one of their shoulders. The font is ugly. It has the faded numbers.
I didn't like that.
Which I think if you look at University of Arizona, they have some faded number jerseys that I think look really good. Those ones look awful to me. It's funny. I mean, the Cardinals had the worst jerseys in the NFC just because they haven't been updated in like 2 decades, and somehow the Rams just took that spot with ease. I mean, their jerseys are awful. It's really funny to me. It's actually funny. They went 0 for 2 on logo and jersey.
Ugh.
They whiffed so hard. I hope whoever was the man in charge of all that just is fired already. I mean, it's awful. Why are they changing jerseys even? Really? I mean, I think they should have just gone with a more classic look.
They should have gone back. I mean, go back to they were in LA before.
Yeah.
Right. Go back to that look.
So they wore those throwback jerseys pretty much every week. It seemed like.
Yeah.
I think
there you go.
I think what you do is just, instead of having the navy blue helmet with the blue jersey, go to that color of blue on the helmet. Bang. Keep everything the same.
I think sometimes you have, you're the owner, you hire marketing people, and they hire designers, and they feel like they have to make their mark. So if I'm a new owner or if I'm a marketing person, I have to make my mark on this. So I can't just go back and do something that was done before. I have to make a splash. Fuck the splash.
You know who? No,
do it right.
Here's the thing. You know who made a splash? Whoever designed the Chargers uniforms.
Yeah.
They made a splash. I mean, they got the bolts on the side. They got the number on the helmet. They got the midnight blue jersey. They made a splash there. And the thing was they made a splash, a good splash, because they didn't change too much. Whereas the Rams, they're trying to completely innovate, change their whole brand.
Yeah.
It's why are you doing that? The Ram logo, arguably one of the best in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's a good logo. It's a clean looking logo. They already have good colors. That blue and yellow just looks crispy. I think, honestly, I don't know how it's going to look on the field. I think the yellow they chose is piss yellow. It's pretty bright.
It is bright.
So I'm more of a fan of kind of the, I guess, more goldish yellow. But it'll be interesting to see. The thing is, the Chargers have done it so perfectly every single time when they introduce new uniforms. They take what has worked, which is everything that they've done, and tweak it slightly to make it more modern and to just kind of change it up a little bit, but they keep what was good.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is when you're making new uniforms, keep what's good.
Right. Yep.
And in some cases where the 49ers, where they have or the Cowboys, everything is good. They're just good uniforms that they have, other than I don't like the Cowboys pants, but they're so classic that it's it just works.
Just don't mess with that. What if they just came out with totally different, I mean, how, you know what I mean?
Cowboys
how
fans
messed up would that be?
Yeah, it would be really bad. Yeah. But they have a brand that works, and the Patriots changed their jerseys too. And I guess, I get it, it's a new era, all this stuff, but they don't have silver pants anymore. and they have like these big stripes on the shoulder, and it's like, I don't know, to me, I guess it's different for me because the Patriots have been such a dynasty. To me, the
Right.
Patriots had such a brand. That jersey, the silver, blue, silver, it was such a, I don't know, it was just so identifiable. I was surprised that they changed it at all, but
Yep.
I think you got something that works, don't change it. You know, with the Seahawks, it'll be interesting because the Seahawks have pretty unique uniforms that I think the template is good for them, but I'm just not a huge fan of like the neon green, I guess.
No.
But yeah, I mean, when they eventually get new uniforms or introduce some new stuff, it'll be interesting to see where they go, because I wouldn't say they have this super cemented in brand yet with those uniforms, but it's like they're good uniforms on the grand scheme.
And then it's hard. It's funny too, because part of the reason they're good uniforms is because they had success in those uniforms, right?
That's a good point. Yeah, and that's the same thing with my Patriots thing.
Yeah. So if you fail, in a uniform, it's pretty easy to get rid of it. But if the Cowboys, the Steelers, some of those uniforms are part of the reason they're the Raiders. Part of the reason they're great is because when they started using those, they had
Celtics,
success.
Lakers,
Knicks.
So
it's like, how do you
can't say that about the Knicks?
Why would you change something
exactly
like that? So the Seahawks, I don't know how, I didn't like them when they first came out. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I didn't like the ones before them either.
Yeah, the ones before them either had just the most bland blue color of all time.
Yeah, it just looked like, it really looked like, okay, yeah, that's a place that rains.
It looked like a
that's
like
what a depressed person draws up in a rainy city.
It looks like that color would be on a logo for like a school district or something. Like just the most boring shit ever. A dentist office, like.
But I the Seahawks uniforms now are fine. I kind of got used to them. I don't like the lime green, but like you said earlier. But then it's like, you win a Super Bowl, and man, I don't know. I'd be a little reluctant to change it now, just because I have warm feelings about it.
Definitely, definitely. Even if you don't entirely like the look, there's good feelings behind it. I think their best move, and I think the move they'll make is. I don't think they'll change their uniforms probably until Russ and Pete leave. Yeah. And I'm guessing if they can, they'll just introduce a throwback. And then maybe way down the road when Russ and Pete are gone, they like do this big switch back to the old colors or something.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, that's just obviously like I have no reason to think that, but I just think that'd be an interesting path for them. Anyway, enough Jersey talk, I guess.
Oh,
I mean, kind of weird.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, Jesus, man. By the way, there was another Cooper Kupp switched his number from 18 to 10. Big news. Big news in the football world. We got another little white wide receiver number switch, which just trends. If you switch your number right now in the NFL, you're trending on Twitter. Wow. That's where we're at. But yeah. With all that being said, I hope you enjoyed the MulletCast. I just get one last sexy look at it. I might actually have mine for a little. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know when it'll be cut, but if you're still listening, don't know why. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
If you are still listening, text us or call us with the word laptop.
Okay.
Laptop is the word of the pod. So,
again, support those local businesses. Go buy the jug of margarita.
Yeah, go buy a pizza.
Hit up Whistle Stop, and really, when you go to places like that, support your local breweries too, the smaller ones.
Yeah, true.
They're really struggling.
Yeah.
I'm doing all I can. I'm really trying to help the small breweries out the best I can, but it's not, probably they need more than one guy pulling the weight there. So.
Yeah. Follow me on Twitter at Mason Charles Coe. Follow him too at Aaron Coe 29. We're trying to tweet more. Now is just the worst time to really start with the sports media thing. We started a podcast at the worst time possible. So it's kind of, I haven't been on Twitter very much, but especially when sports gets up again, I'll try to be just tweeting my thoughts out there.
Yeah, me too.
And then we can kind of go over them on the pod, but also buy the book, audiobook on Amazon, hardcover on lulu.com.
Yes.
I mean, if if you're supporting us, whether it's in the past right now or way down on the road in the future, thank you very much. Well, this is really fun for us. I love setting the table up every time, and I think every time he walks in here to start the podcast, I've just been sitting in this chair for like 15, 20 minutes already, just like raring to go. So
That's a blast.
I mean, it really is. We're gonna try to do this for as long as possible. And so thank you guys very much. Have a great day. Stay safe. Follow the rules. Wear a mask. You got anything else?
Don't make out with strangers.
I think that is probably just a rule at all times and not just about quarantine. But definitely, especially right now, don't make out with strangers.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys.
Goodbye.
Peace out.
Thank you.